Hello, and welcome back to the Touch and Base podcast. Good to see you beautiful, smiling faces again. It's been a really long time since I've made a video, and it's mainly for reasons that don't exactly pertain to me not being motivated. As you can see, the back wall's pretty much cleared out, and we're still juggling whether or not we're sticking around or we're moving. My bad on not creating content, but we have plenty to talk about. And plus, we're going to do something a little bit different, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I spent a long time trying to get this done, and then a lot of people beat me to it. So, you know what? Whatever. I'm still going to roll with it because I put way too much energy in it to not do it at this point. Now that we've actually hit May 1st officially today, as of this recording, I wanted to do a little bit of a reflection on this season. So far, AL East is looking pretty predictable. The Yankees are up top, 18-13 record. Red Sox are 17-15. I would expect a little bit more out of them, but their offense has been kind of streaky. It's either super good or it's super bad, and now they're dealing with Walker Buehler possibly going on the IL as of today, which is pretty rough for them because their pitching, I think, has been their weak point. I mean, whether or not someone is going to be able to stay in the rotation without getting injured or coming off of injury and then having a terrible return. Liam Hendricks, no offense, it sucks because he's a cool guy and I was really rooting for him, but you still have Giolito, who's still a big question mark. Now you have the same Dodger curse that Walker Buehler dealt with last season, and now he's dealing with it again. Now, the big surprise, I think, is the Orioles being in last place. I mean, 12-18 with such a young team that was so successful the last 2 years, and plus having new ownership, you thought they would have done more than just Tyler O'Neill, but they didn't, and they lost Anthony Santander. I don't get it. I really don't. They need to snap out of it, start picking it up. But we'll get back to the Orioles in a little bit. The Rays are sitting in fourth place and the Blue Jays are sitting in the middle. And for the first part of the season, they were pretty surprising. They were leading the stack, but they're 14-16 as they actually started playing some decent teams and still in the race, 3.5 games back. AL Central has been pretty predictable. Tigers are in the lead, are kind of fighting for that first place spot with the Guardians. Tigers are 19-12 and the Guardians are 18-13. The Royals, I think, are going to wake up a little bit later in the season, but they are 17-15. Twins are 13-19, as expected, even though they started to kind of have a hot start, but then the injuries came back, as we all predicted, because nobody can stay healthy on that team ever. And then the White Sox are 8-23, which at first I thought they were going to be a better team, and they had the opportunity to because they cleared so much budget during this offseason, but they didn't, of course, because their ownership and their I don't even want to talk shit about them because it's just, I don't get it. 8-23. American League West is probably the most surprising, I think, of every division at this point. My dogs are losing their mind. What are they barking at? Where was I? Okay, Mariners. What? My Mariners. Really? 18-12, literally the best record in baseball right now in the American League. Now, you can kind of offset with the 19-12 with the Tigers because they played today and they won, but Mariners didn't play today. So having a 600 winning percentage right now is insane considering they had the worst offense probably in baseball aside from the White Sox last season, and they didn't really change anything at all. So I mean, take it as you like. Now, granted, they are probably going to go downhill real quick here. Now, last season, they were able to get up 10 games ahead of everybody else. Right now, they're 2 games ahead of the Astros, as the Rangers seem to be losing every game that they play. They just got beat by the Athletics, who just jumped ahead of the Rangers for third place, as the Astros are in second. Angels are in dead last of the division at 12-17. They started hot. They're falling off, of course. No news on Mike Trout. He's still injured, and we have no idea what is going to happen with him, because if he's injured again, I mean, honestly, dude, retire. Save face at this point, because you haven't played a full season in how long? You're starting to turn into, and I'm not saying you are, but you're starting to have the same track record as Anthony Rendon. Granted, you do perform when you show up, just you're not able to show up. Anywho, hats off to my Mariners, and just please don't get 10 games ahead and blow it again. We'll see in June. As for the NL East, the Mets are in first place. Who would have thunk? 21-11. They have a 65% winning percentage right now, and that is the second best behind the Dodgers, who are 21-10. So they just played one more game than the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers had like 2 games off this last week or something like that. So they are slightly behind the Dodgers, who are the powerhouse everybody was expecting. Unfortunately, the Padres did fall back behind the Dodgers, but we'll get into the West here soon. So as far as the East, the Mets and the Phillies are fighting with only 3 games difference between those. The Braves are 6 games back. They are starting to show some life. Now we'll see how much they're able to show moving forward when, Spencer Strider actually gets fully healthy, and then when they get Ronald Acuna Jr. back, and maybe when Profar comes back and the All-Star break, maybe he will be a big asset to them in the second half, and that could be really, really good for them, especially making a wild card run. I feel like it's a little too late halfway through the season to make a division run, but definitely wild card for the Braves. And then you have the Nationals and the Marlins as they trail behind. One is 13-18, the Marlins are 12-18. So 7.5 games, 8 games. It's only the first month. They can maybe turn it around, but as of right now, their top prospect, Dylan Cruz, if you want to argue that he's better or highly touted compared to James Woods, he's been complete disaster, and James Woods has a lot of power and a lot of potential, but he hasn't really crazily performed, and they needed him to be the Tatis that he was supposed to be in San Diego before the Juan Soto trade. As for the National League Central, Cubs are the big powerhouse, 19-13. I know that doesn't sound as good as the Dodgers and the Mets, but Kyle Tucker's been doing great. When they decide to play Carson Kelly, he hits like 10 home runs a game, and it doesn't make any sense why he's not the starter, but I mean, whatever, let them do their thing. They want to put a Maya in there, they can, and whatever they're doing, I guess it's working if you want to consider winning. I mean, everybody's been doing pretty decent. Nico Horner seems to be pretty smooth since he came back from his injury. They did lose their main guy with Steele to Tommy John. He's going to take a year to recover, so pitching is going to be their weakness. Maybe they can make a move by the trade deadline and bring another starter in. I think that's something that they really need, because I think this 19-13 would be a lot better if they had better pitching. And I'm not saying they have bad pitching. I'm just saying they need a little bit more structure. Matt Boyd's been great, but they can do one more guy that would be a little bit more solid and more dependable. I think that would be a good idea. The Reds are surprising everybody. They are a offensive stud, but they do come up short quite a bit. Hunter Green was probably the best pitcher in baseball, but the last few games he's been getting hit hard. So whether or not that was the teams that he was playing, or he just got into a little bit of a funk this last week, but he was probably going to be my Cy Young award-winning pick just maybe a few days ago. Reds are 17-15, only 2 games back of the Cubs. The Brewers are 16-16, so right at that 500 mark, and they're 3 games behind the Reds, 3 games behind the Cubs, 1 game behind the Reds. Then you have the Cardinals and the Pirates, and the Pirates are 12-20 in dead last of the Central. And then, of course, National League West, like I said, Dodgers in the lead. Padres gave it up. They have 19-11, which is still better than pretty much every other team in all the other divisions, including their own. The Giants are fighting them 19-12. They're only half a game back behind the Padres, so it is a bloody race for first place in the National League West, which makes it pretty interesting, even though we're kind of looking at the Dodgers being the powerhouse at this point. Diamondbacks are 17-14 again. That would put you in second place in the Central, and that would put you in second place in the, or I guess it would be third place in the East. So as far as contending for the wild card, it's going to be really hard for these Braves and Phillies, like I was mentioning earlier, because the West is so stacked and they're winning so many games. And then you have the Rockies, who is basically the White Sox of the National League, as they are 5-25. So that's your breakdown for the National League and American League standings. I normally don't do this kind of thing. I just wanted to do a rundown of random stuff that's happened in baseball that's pretty interesting. Some small news, not big news. I just wanted to mention that Jay Allmer got signed by the Red Sox, and he's going to be a minor league guy. He's a closer, but I think you guys should keep an eye on him. I would love to have him on the podcast. He's a 6'6", 215-pound guy that looks like the boxer from Rocky. 2021, he was 19 years old and played for UNC in Asheville. Not too good in 21-22. Had a 15 and 14.92 ERA. 2022, kind of figured it out. Finished in 12 games at a 3.08 ERA. Then he played for the Mystic, which was part of the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and he finished a total of 12 games, and he had an ERA of .60. 2024, 2.73 ERA. And then also when he was with the Morehead City, when it came to the Coastal Plain League, 3.86 ERA. And then now, looking at the most recent as far as his registered pitching and the MLB Draft League, which was in Frederick, I think Maryland, 2.14 ERA, where he pitched in 17 games, and he finished 16 of them with 21 innings pitched. This guy, I think, could be pretty dominant, and I think you should keep an eye on him. It's good for Red Sox fans, so look forward to that, because right now closer is kind of like a lottery ticket right now. You have like 2 closers, but they're all in 1-year deals. Maybe in 3 years from now, this is your ace closer that was the Kenley Jensen that used to be in Boston, now of course over in LA. For those of you that don't remember specifically the Heston Kjerstad incident where he got hit in the head by Clay Holmes, and Clay Holmes is pretty good control. He's now over with the Mets in 2025. But if you guys remember this, which was straight to the head, like I don't know how he didn't get knocked out, because this was Temple location. It turned out he was okay, but they did put him under concussion protocol and took him out for a little bit. So this is kind of where the bad blood begins. Well, yesterday, and again, this is the thing I was talking about where I spent a lot of time on this, there was another benches clearing situation where it involved Heston Kjerstad. So this was about 22 hours ago, and there's been plenty of people that have mentioned this before. Kjerstad tries to steal, throw down to second. He jumps, lands on his head, and then there's like a little bit of extra at the end. And this is where Kjerstad has a little bit of warts. Let's be honest. And could you blame him? This was a year ago that I just showed you. He got pinned in the head, and then he gets landed on his head again. So he's not too happy with his helmet coming off. Chrome's that nice, beautiful hair. If you're going up, don't fucking land on me. He says it again. If you're going up, don't fucking land on me. The second baseman, and honestly, I think it was Reyes, comes up to him like he's gonna fight him. Kjerstad was looking at the blue, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna step in between us?" And then Volpe's over in the corner, just kind of like laughing it off, like trying to tell Kjerstad like, "You're not gonna do anything." He's like smiling. He's like, "Ah, he's not gonna do shit." And Kjerstad's looking at the guy coming over from third, and he's like, "What do you want to tell me?" I obviously can't read Obviously, he can't read any lips or anything like this because it's the back of his head. But then the umpire's just trying to basically calm down 3 guys while Kjerstad's on the base, and he's just like, who wants to go? Do any of you want some of this? He shows zero fear. Zero fear in this entire thing. Well, Volpe over here, I don't know if he's got a little bit to his head, a little bit, but he's just like, you're good. You're good. You're good. And you see Kjerstad over here. He's like, don't fucking touch me, all right? And Volpe's over here like, okay, giving a little laugh like, oh, you good? All right. Kjerstad's just like, no, don't fucking touch me. Like, he's serious. Don't fuck around. Volpe thinks it's a game. So you have multiple things provoking here. You have number 59, who I think is Reyes. I might be getting that wrong, so you can correct me if you're a Yankees fan. He's over here like, what the fuck you talking to me about? He's over here barking back at him. Kjerstad's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Volpe's over here laughing at him because he's upset about it, which is only gonna piss him off even more. It's like, okay, so you got someone trying to fight me and someone laughing at me as if I can't stand up for myself. And then I'm not exactly sure what's going on over here. I think he was just kind of calmed down the situation and put his hands up and just kind of questioned like, hey, like why are you like basically mad at him for getting mad and talking to his player when he's just saying, if you're gonna go up, and we can even rewind it to what he said, if you're going to go up, don't land on me. If we jump ahead to here, they do a little bit of a replay of what's happening. Throw it down to second, and you see he goes up, not really in. He does try to avoid him, but clear teabag here going on, and then there's a little bit of that like, uses him as leverage to push away and go for the ball, like basically throwing him back to the ground. So in Kjerstad's head, he's going down, getting landed on, and then there's this extra like, I lost my balance, so I'm just gonna use him, push him down, and go after the ball. And Kjerstad's just like, why is everybody going after my head every single time? You guys see a little bit smack right in the head, obviously very forceful. And keep in mind, guys, I'm playing this at I'm half speed. We're at half speed in the way he did. So okay, let's go normal speed. Okay, just for context here, let me go back. And they decided to play it full speed. Bam! You tell me you're not going to be a little bit pissed off. He's already like, hey, what the fuck, dude? Like, why the landing? Ow, okay, but the extra little, let's see, he lands and then pushed him off just to go after him. He's like, all right, dude, I'm not your... If you're going to go up, don't fucking land on me. What? What'd you say? If you're going to go up, don't fucking land on me. And then everything erupts. I think Kjerstad's in the right here, 100%. I mean, he's just sending a message like, be careful. Don't fucking land on my head, and then don't push me down to the ground. And then you have Volpe over here provoking everything, like patting him on the shoulder, like, you good, bro? Like, relax, chill. He's like, don't fucking touch me. And he's like, I'm right here. Like, what did I do? Yeah, a little bit annoying from the Yankee side. And then there's a bunch of comments when you like check this video out on X where it's just like, oh, don't fuck with Dominicans. Like, they'll fuck you up. Like, he looks scared. He didn't look scared. He looked like he was sending a message and he was ready to take on 3 guys at once. I'm just saying. I'm not messing with Heston Kjerstad, and I think he's already fired up from last season, and rightfully so. Last but not least, I wanted to at least touch on this. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, and I am going to make a joke about this because there's always a joke to be made when it comes to the Pirates and everything, but I don't know why this happened or how this happened. A ball is hit to left field, okay? Left field. That is to the left side of the stadium. Where this video you're going to see, and viewer discretion advised, it's pretty brutal. The camera's facing to the right side. Keep an eye on the upper deck, right at the railing. Yeah. That is a fan that threw themselves... There's no evidence from this quality that we can see. Threw themselves over the railing from the top deck, 20 feet down, flipping like a rag doll and crashing into the field. They were taken to the hospital. I didn't get any update as far as their condition or what happened. I mean, hopefully they're okay. But what? Why? Why did this happen? Watch it again. He just... How? Look, okay, we're gonna zoom in here. Okay, at this point, I'm pretty sure he has his arms right here and 2 feet on the railing. He jumped from the railing, and then I don't know. I think he regretted it because if you saw, he kind of held on with both hands. There's one hand there, there's one hand there, but his feet decided to go over. And then I think he flipped 3 times or something like that. And this guy down here is like, oh my God. He just like, oh, who was that? Immediately turns around and points to him because it just makes no sense to me. I'm breaking this down because this seems weird, okay? He is kind of crouched down behind the banner. I don't think he's sitting down. He jumps up and then his feet hop the fence, but his head leans forward, and then his head goes down. He's still holding onto the rail, and then there's the feet. They just flip right over, and it's 1, 2, and then bang. Right field has no idea what just happened. I'm going to assume this was 100% excitement, and he jumped to put his feet, and then his body weight went forward and he just went tumbling over the edge. It's insane to me that someone could react that way to something. And again, I hope he's okay. The running joke obviously is it's the Pirates. They can't win and the fans are fed up to where they're jumping off the balconies and the seats. And if you don't like that joke and you think that is too hard and too cruel, don't subscribe to the channel. That's insane. I don't want to say he's dumb because I'm sure there was some sort of weird freak accident that happened there that caused him to literally hurl his entire body over the railing and onto the field. Now, I'm only going to assume from just such a horrific situation and what happened that they're gonna probably raise the railings, or they're gonna put glass up to where you can't hang over the railing. It's gonna be harder for you to jump over it. This being a grown adult, I'm assuming they're gonna also now think about the kids. It's really hard from the quality of this video, but someone was recording and they were able to catch it, and obviously it was brutal. But it's just, people, please be careful. Like, don't sit on the front row if you cannot control your emotions and you're going to jump and possibly throw yourself off. This could have been way worse if it was in the 300 level or 400 level, wherever you have it, your home stadium, in the highest bleachers where it is 100-foot drop onto people, onto hard plastic seats. It is insane. He landed on dirt. I don't know if that's better or worse, but maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't. There's nothing there to penetrate him, unlike anything else if it was anywhere else in the field. So that's all I have for you guys today. Right now, there's a couple games going on. See, the Phillies and Nats are playing. Nats are up 3-1, and then Boston and Toronto are battling out. Houck is back. Hopefully, he can have a good game. He's been having a lot of struggles, but we'll see. They are in Toronto currently. So enjoy the rest of the games today. I'm gonna try to get this out to you, and we'll see you all in the next one. By the way, subscribe. I'm gonna get back on the grind. Love you. Later.